everyone and welcome! Few days ago we got yet another lore related post on Nexus. This one answered a big question I get asked a lot. Why is there no map of Runeterra? Or the alternative question, why is this map wrong? While the second one has an easy answer, this map was cut from the official story years ago. The first question gets a bit tricky, but with some official statements it is easier to explain. The question brought up on Ask Riot was: there have been a number of interesting lore stories of newly released champions along with some reworks of the old ones. Have you considered updating or modifying the old Valorant world map? Now, as I mentioned, the old Valorant map was cut from the official lore few years ago. The reason why that map looks the way it looks is because in the old client it was segmented into areas that were used as background when you were picking your game mode. Also keep in mind that Valorant is not the same thing as Runeterra. Runeterra is the entire world, while Valorant is only the main continent. I couldn't agree more with the first sentence of their answer. Absolutely. As perhaps one of the biggest cartography nerds in the studio, it hurts my soul every time I see the old Runeterra blob map still out there. Every time I see a thread asking for a new map. I and the other rioters desperately want to bring you a new Runeterra map to replace the old one and help you ground the places and people we talk about. Unfortunately, it can take time. We do have something in works, but depending on the timing of the other things we'd like to release with it, and rounds of feedback to ensure that we're not setting ourselves up for trouble in the future, it's not imminent. Think in terms of months, but not, unless disaster happens, in terms of years. Now this makes me think we will get a map together with the history of the Darkin, which will not be released now, but it should be released later this year. To break down what that meant, from a writer's point of view, it is always safer to have some windows open to expand the world whenever you feel like it is logical. In other words, you wouldn't want to make your entire map at the beginning while you are still tailoring the main stories. If you realize certain parts of the stories could be better if certain places had something extra around them, you can't do anything about it because you already have the map set down. That's why we have only seen bits and pieces of Runeterra, because the maps that we have seen are only for places that we already have great stories for. You don't need to expand the map in those areas because the stories are nailed down. We currently have two canon maps. We have the Medarda Heirloom map, which has all the nodes for the trading routes of the Medarda family from Piltover. Notice how the map only shows places we know about. We have the Shuriman cities in the south, cities like Belzoon or Nashrame, which we know about from the stories of Nasus or Ezreal. We have Noxus in the north, and we have arrow pointing in the way of Demacia to the west. That is because at the time this map was made, Demacian stories were still being written. So to avoid any future trouble, Demacia is not on this map. The second canon map we have is less accurate, not only because it is older, but also because it was made by pirates. This map was released right when League got the big lore revamp, so it is debatable whether this map is canon too. However, the map stays true to the current locations. If you compare it with the Medarda map, we have the Shadow Isles, which are not shown on the map, but then we have Bilgewater, and behind that we have Piltover, both check out. And to the north we have Ionia, which also checks out. So since the map fits in, I think Riot will keep it. The post then continues. It will likely show the three currently known continents of Runeterra: Ionia, Valoran, and the southern or Shurima continent. There's a lot more room on the planet than that, lots of room to expand. But getting the known continents out to you would make my heart sing. This is in addition to our plan to release more cultural artifact maps like the Medarda Heirloom, that provide more insight into the basis and relative values of the different cartographers around Runeterra. I think this is the right call for Riot. I always understood why they avoided revealing the full map all at once. It would limit their options to a great degree. So by releasing the continents separately, they don't uncover the entire world. This way they satisfy everyone. People will get their maps for references and the writers will keep their freedom. But that's it for this short video. I just wanted to let people know Riot's state on this whole map thing. I really get a lot of questions about it, so at least now I can answer everyone at once. In short, yes, maps are coming, but in separate pieces. But if you like this video, feel free to rate it however you want, and you can always subscribe for more lore. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Discord if you'd like to chat. Thank you all so much for being here and for your support, you know I really appreciate it. And as always, thank you come again.